Okay guys, for the bead tumbler, the first thing you're gonna want to do is take your tumbler, sand it nice and rough, and then take your spray paint. So I'm using Rust-Oleum Sunburst Yellow, and then go ahead and spray paint it. This is a stripped tumbler, FYI, so yours doesn't have to be stripped. And it doesn't have to be perfect either because we are gonna glitter it first. So this is what mine looks like. And then just let it dry. So after your tumbler has dried, you are going to apply your glitter. I am going to use yellow bikini. This is chunky. You do not have to use a chunky glitter. You can use a fine glitter or even a gold. You do not have to do yellow. But this is, the tutorial I'm doing is a yellow on yellow. So just make sure that if you do use a yellow tumbler, a yellow glitter, it has some shine to it, like a really sparkly yellow. So you can distinguish it from the yellow alcohol inks. So what I'm doing, I'm using Adhesive Apothecary, her thick glitter glue. Usually this step, I would use Mod Podge, or you could also do the epoxy method with this. Okay, so just rub it in. Uh-oh. Muma.
Can you see me in your camera?
No.
Then I can just right here. Okay, Sibby.
So once you get it nice and covered up, don't forget I'm using a strip tumbler. That's why you see all those little specks. So once you get it nice and covered up, go ahead and apply your glitter.
Thank you, Mom.
Thank you.
Mom, that's cute because I like yellow.
Mm-hmm. Hold on, I'm not done. And literally after this step, let it dry and then go ahead and epoxy it. And then tomorrow we will do step 2. The only way you can continue this is if you have a fast set epoxy. If you use fast set epoxy, then go ahead and epoxy it and then just wait for step 2. Okay guys, so this is the epoxy brand that I use. And now we're going to epoxy this tumbler and then let it sit overnight. Okay guys, so it is now the next day. So once you take it off the turner, you're gonna sand it. So I kind of already sanded it already, but I'm gonna do it again because I still have some rough spots. So wherever there's rough spots, just go ahead and sand it up. Even if you don't have any rough spots, still go ahead and sand it because we are going to spray paint it. So once you get it nice and sanded to your to your liking, go ahead and move over to your computer so we can make our honeycomb beehives. Okay, so I have opened Cricut and open up the canvas. You're gonna go to images. So I'm gonna open up a new one. So go to images and then type in honeycombs. And then you'll get all these different variations of the different honeycombs. So you just choose which ones you like. These ones are good, so you don't have to, what do you call it? You don't have to use these ones and place them everywhere. So I'm gonna use both actually. Or actually, I'm just gonna stick to one. So I'm gonna use this one here. So add to canvas. And then I just shrink them to whatever size I like and just go over here in this corner. So this right here is duplicate. Excuse me. So just duplicated quite a few times. Let me see how many I have. Depending on what size tumbler you use, you're gonna need quite a few. This is a 20 ounce, so maybe about, how many is this? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Maybe I'll probably do 15 just to be safe. So here's 15, and just go ahead and make it. So what you want to do is you actually want to save this to your computer because you already have it as the size that you want it, because we're going to cut it and then we're going to remove the insides of the honeycombs, and you're going to need the outline for tomorrow after we epoxy, if that makes sense. So go ahead and save it to your computer. Just title it honeycomb or something. So save it so we can come back to it later and then get ready to cut. So you can use any color, it doesn't matter, because we're gonna end up peeling these off anyways. So go ahead and cut it on your Cricut. And then I will come back. Oh, is my Cricut on? Oh, and then I will come back and show you how we apply it. Okay, so once you get your vinyl cut, go ahead and weed it. Sorry guys, my hands are ashy. So go ahead and weed it. And what I do is I pick it up just like this, and then I'll like weed it again on the tumbler. It's much easier in my opinion. So go ahead and pick up your pieces and you place them where you want them. Okay, so once you have placed all your honeycombs where you want them, go back through and peel up the outlining. Whatever you want as a peekaboo, you leave on the tumbler. So if you want to remove some of these and leave the outlining, then you can do that. But for this tumbler, I'm going to show you how I do it. And then also any pieces that were left on your paper, so like this one, just go ahead and peel this up and then just place that little piece that got left behind. So here, I'll just pick it up. And then place it there. So that's it. So I'm gonna put it on fast mode and then I'll come back. Okay, so once you have everything placed where you want it, now we're gonna go spray paint it. So now you're gonna need white primer or just a white paint. You can use flat satin, but don't use glossy. So just literally spray paint over this. It doesn't have to be perfect either. And then go ahead and let it dry. Okay, so now you're gonna need some alcohol inks. I'm using lemon yellow and regular yellow. And these are from Amazon, but you can find some. You can find some from Michael's or go on Amazon, either or. They both work. Okay, so now this is just a raggedy brush that I have that I only use for my alcohol inks. So, and you're gonna need something underneath to catch any of that drops because it is kind of messy. So just drop per usual and then just kind of pat it. And then mix colors, mix both lemon yellow and regular yellow. So I'm gonna do this on a time lapse because it's gonna take a while. But any questions, just ask. So this is what you should have now. Now you're just gonna let this dry for at least 30 minutes, just so it doesn't completely dry, so don't worry about that. But as long as it's not smearing on your hand, then you should be okay. And then I'll come back and we'll peel these up. So now all you guys need to do is, after it's dried, is go back through and pick all of these up. So I'm gonna do this on time lapse. So this is what you should have now, and this is what we are going to epoxy. And tomorrow we will add the outline and bees and a decal, and then be done with it. Okay guys, so now we are on day 3. So now you have your firstly epoxied tumbler. So go back to your Cricut, and remember we saved the honeycombs. So now you're just going to make it this time. You don't need to do nothing to them. Do not alter the size or anything. Just go ahead and make it. And this time you're gonna take gold vinyl, and this time we're actually going to remove, sorry, it's up close, I'm trying to show you my computer as well. We're gonna remove the insides and just keep the outline. So this was the reason why we saved it, okay? Okay, so this is what you should be left with. And so just take your transfer tape, pick it up, and this is how you outline your honeycombs. And don't forget to, if you have any bumps still, go ahead and sand them down. So it's kind of hard to see, so don't rush with this spot. Just place it and then boom. And then just go ahead and you literally do this for all of them. And then the next step will be to add decal and then add the bees and drip. Uh-oh, where am I at? Where am I at? Right here. Let me see. Better for me to do it this way. Okay, so now I'm gonna speed up the video. Okay, so once you have all of your things with the outline on it, now go back to Cricut and go to make a new canvas. Hold on, sorry. And then we're gonna go to images. So click images, and then this is where, well, you don't have to do this, but I'm gonna do this for the video. So you can type in B quotes. So these are all free on Cricut, so you can use any of these. Just add them to your canvas. So just scroll through. I'm looking for a simple one. Sweet as can be. And you can alter these too. Like, you don't have to leave it the same colors that they have on here. None of that. So I'm gonna do cute as can be, because this one looks simple. And then literally just resize it how you want it. And then I like to do an offset. So like I said, I like to do an offset, and I don't like mine's that big, so I move it down. So let's change the color so you can tell. So this is what mine will look like. So my offset will actually be white, and then I will print this out on water slide paper and make it yellow. So let me go ahead and change the color, yellow, and then my B. So also right here in the corner, this is where you can alter it. So you see how the B is kind of yellow as well. So you could switch it up like this or whatever you want to do. Although my B does need to be yellow. Hold on, let's pick a different. Black. So this is going to be white. Oh, I see why it's doing that. So I'm actually going to pick a different decal because it shouldn't do that. What the creator did was they didn't separate the B from the words. So discard, and then because it shouldn't be doing that. So we'll take Sweet as Can Be. Sorry. Sweet as Can Be. Resize again. Offset it. And move it down to the size you are happy with. So that one is mine. This will be white and this will be yellow. So see, I prefer that. So it can look like that, but on a white backdrop. So this is actually gonna be a print and cut. So what you're gonna do is come over here to this corner. This little corner down here, it says flatten. So that's what you want to do, is flatten it, which will make it a print and cut file. So this one is a basic cut, and the Cricut will cut that one, and then this one we just print on paper. So let me show you how it's done. Let me get my water slide paper. So I just actually ran out of water slide paper. So this is what we're gonna do. This is how I'm gonna show you. So if you guys already know how to use water slide, go ahead and do it like this. So for me, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and turn this. First, I'm gonna put the image on there so I know that it's on there properly. Go ahead and outline it and flatten it. Uh-oh, oops, one step, skipped one step. Take the offset and then make it white and then flatten it. So it will print all like one big, so I'm gonna show you again on a, so it'll print like that. So this is another offset if you want to add black to it. This is actually kind of cute, so I think I may leave it. So I'm gonna go ahead and print this like this and then apply it to my tumbler, and then I'll come back and show you guys the bees. So this is the sticker paper that I'm gonna print it on. This is by ASUP. It's called vinyl sticker paper, and it is used with the inkjet printer. So literally, you just pull it out and print it. It's actually really shiny. You do need to, once it prints, you do need to let it dry and spray it with a clear coat of spray paint to seal it in before touching it, because it will smear. So you can add bleed or whatever, because we're still gonna cut it on the Cricut. So I'm gonna go ahead and print it. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm gonna spray it with clear spray paint and let it dry. Okay, so once you apply your decal, you're gonna need your hot glue gun, and these are the bees. You just go on Amazon and type in wooden bees, and then these should come up. So these little white things on the bag, you have to take them off. They're like little stickies, and they're raised, but they peel right off. So just take your finger or a knife, an X-Acto knife, and just peel them off. So that way it lays flat on the tumbler. So as you're peeling those off, just go ahead and start gluing them where you want them on the tumbler. And make sure you press all the way down so that way they're not still raised. Whoops, I'm getting it everywhere. So there, and push down. And then you do that everywhere, all throughout the little honeycombs or wherever you want it. Okay, so now that you added all of your bees, take some acrylic paint and a paintbrush. I use my clay tool because it's easier. It doesn't make that big of a lines. And then I just draw, we'll just dot like the bees are buzzing through. Just as if the bees are buzzing through. Okay, so now it should look like this. Go ahead and let it dry. And while this is drying, go ahead and mix up your part A and part B epoxy just a little bit, just enough so we can go ahead and add our drip to the top. Okay, so this is my heating mat. You definitely want a heating mat if you're not going to use fast set epoxy. So, and you're going to need cornstarch to get it nice and thick. So I just go ahead and pour part A. You literally don't need a lot for the drip, but you do need equal amounts. So get eye level and make sure that you have equal amounts. Let me get it off here. Equal amounts in each, so I do. Now, I use acrylic paint for my colorant because that also aids in helping it get nice and sticky and tacky. So now we're just gonna let it sit for like 15 to 20 minutes on the heating pad so that it warms up. Once you see it start bubbling a lot on the top, that means it's ready to start adding the cornstarch and making it nice and thick. Remember, cornstarch is only activated when whatever you're putting it in is warm. So this is what I use. You can get at any grocery store. So again, 15 minutes and then we'll be back. Okay, so 15 minutes later, go ahead and start adding your cornstarch. You add it until you are satisfied with the mixture. So I like mine's extra thick and extra tacky. That way it doesn't drip too fast and it doesn't drip too slow. That way you have time to get it on the turner before it starts dripping too far down. And you just literally do your drip and let it sit on the turner, dry on the turner, and then epoxy the whole thing once it's dry. And also too, let me get some bees out because I like to add bees into my drip. So this is the way I like mine, like this. It's not gonna go anywhere. Okay, so bring the tumbler here. And I just scoop a nice glob of it. And then I kind of just apply just like this. This way you can actually sculpt with the epoxy your own drips. It is nice too when they do them themselves too, but with bees on them like this, you don't want everything to be covered up. So see how it's not going down a little bit? I just take some more and I kind of make my own drips. It will all smooth out. So just kind of let it sit and let gravity do its thing. Eventually it'll all smooth out. And if you want to, like me, go ahead and place bees in your drip. And once it is dry, like completely dry, guys, go ahead and epoxy over it, and then your tumbler is literally done. So that's it. So this is what we have right now. And this is literally the end of it. Now all you need to do is wait for, uh-oh, I touched it. Now all you need to do is just wait for it to dry and then epoxy, guys, and then it's done. So any questions, go ahead and comment or message me or whatever you need to do to get some help. I'm always available. So just let me know, guys. And thanks for watching.